What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. This is Season 5, Episode 6, and the title of this episode is Ultimatums and Ugly Truths. Let's start off with Colt and Jess. So Colt says that his mother just needed some rest and wasn't mad at Jess. He adds that he got another room so everyone can have their own space, and he wants time alone with Jess as well. Colt says that he knew his mother coming to Brazil could jeopardize his relationship with Jess. Colt and Jess in this scene go to dinner alone, and Colt makes many excuses for his mother's behavior. Jess just wants to know why Debbie is there, and Colt says because she's very protective. They both share the loss of a parent in common, and Jess tells the camera crew that, she just wants to give Debbie a second chance. She goes on to say that her family and Colt's mom are very different. She describes her family as very happy, fun, and welcoming. Colt calls his mother a burden, but she's his mother and he has to take care of her. This is what he said out his mouth. I don't know. I'm all for taking care of your parents and making sure that they're okay. But I think the relationship that he has with his mother is unhealthy because she won't even allow him to have his own life outside of her. She doesn't want him to have a relationship, and that relationship possibly leading to marriage and starting his own family. Now, when Colt says maybe his mom is not the best person, but she's his person, I've never heard a son say that about his mother. Have you? I've heard people say that about their significant other to whom they're in a relationship with, but not their mom. Colt says that he thinks that his mom made a bad first impression, but he really loves Jess, so he wants to see his mother and Jess getting along. He hopes things are going to get better moving forward and that what happened in the early part of this trip doesn't happen again. Now, I think someone mentioned this before in my comments about how these two belong on Smothered. They definitely are on the wrong show. Colt and Debbie need to be on Smothered because I feel like with their type of weird relationship, it's more of a fit. They're more of a fit on that show. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Andrei and Elizabeth. So Elizabeth and Andrei are going wedding hunting, and Andrei is very snappy and rude, but what else is new? Now, they pull up to a venue that's a strip mall and a casino by night. Now, that's how Elizabeth described it. Elizabeth feels the venue is tacky and she isn't feeling it when she sees it. She keeps saying that she wants something that will make her family happy. Now, they start to look at a menu, and Elizabeth is concerned that her family won't like the menu. They also only show pictures, and they don't have anything prepared for them to be able to taste. Now, I don't know if it's because maybe they just walked in and they didn't have an appointment. I'm not sure. But Andrei says that he doesn't care and that it's not about her family, but about them. Andrei says that they can go down the street to McDonald's to get American fast food. Now, once they get outside, these two start to go at it, okay? And during their confessional outside the venue, Elizabeth starts to speak about how only seeing pictures didn't help her and that she needed to be able to taste the food to make sure that it was up to par for her family's standards. Andrei then begins to interrupt her, talking over her, and Elizabeth then yells, telling him not to interrupt her. Andrei then tells her that she's annoying, cursing at her, and tells her to shut up. He obviously is trying to prove a point and wants to show that in his country, he runs things. But we all know when they're in America, he runs nothing. But he depends on Elizabeth and her family to be taken care of. Him raising his voice, cursing at her, and telling her to finish her thoughts makes Elizabeth leave, and she walks away from the cameras. I can't say I'm surprised by Andrei's actions. Elizabeth is walking away, and he's yelling, talking about, "Do you want to go home?" Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Larissa. So Larissa is going to see her criminal attorney, Adam, and she still has charges that she's looking to have reduced. Larissa talks about some of her dreams, and one she says is to become an attorney. Then she says to work at immigration is another one of her dreams. She then went on to say that she wants to be her attorney, Adam's assistant. So basically, she doesn't know what she wants to do, basically. How about Adam turning all red when he was talking to Larissa? I think there was a bit of flirting happening. I don't know. What do you all think? Comment down below. So they addressed the Eric situation, and Larissa says that her attorney filed the police report because Larissa can't have any problems with the law. They filed the police report as a protective measure. The attorney lets her know that if something happens, Larissa will be held responsible, not the other party involved. He says his job as an attorney is not to get involved in his clients' personal lives, but he told Larissa to stay away from Eric because she has legal troubles pending. Larissa not staying out of trouble could reverse all the hard work the attorney has done to get them to this point, and most likely they will give her the conviction for domestic violence. Then ICE will come on board and deport her. Larissa is aware that she needs to stay out of trouble. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Angela and Michael. So it's the next morning, and Angela is knocked out asleep with her mouth wide open. I wonder, did Michael get a better mattress for them to sleep on? Now, Michael and Angela have a lot to do in such a short amount of time to prepare for this wedding. And Angela teases Michael that he won't be getting any for a while. And the music that they start playing as Michael tells her that he misses her and to come on so they could do the do. I just thought it was hilarious. I always trip on the music because I just think it's funny the type of songs they play during certain parts of these scenes with the couples. Now, moving on, Angela shows Michael the suits that she bought for him for the wedding. And Michael is like a little kid on Christmas. He says that he feels excited about it because it's been more than 5 years since he wore a suit. The dance Michael does when he sees his suits Angela got him, hilarious. I will never forget it. Michael says that he is aware that they are getting married in Nigeria and that he is supposed to wear native attire, but Angela wants an American wedding. In the next scene, Michael wants to take Angela to meet some of his expat friends, and I already knew that this was going to start some mess. He's hoping that after she talks to them that Angela might decide to start living in Nigeria until he gets his visa. Now, does Michael not know what major responsibilities Angela has back at home? Does he not understand that? Angela is offended by Michael seeking advice about America when he could just go to her. Angela tells Michael that she is not moving to Nigeria. She adds her family, her grandkids, and her mom depend on her. As soon as they arrive, it's only the 3 women, but not the guy friend that he said that was going to be there. The looks, the awkwardness, oh my God, okay? I was rolling at the way that they were looking at Angela and then looking away. Angela, with only seconds of being there, I mean, they literally just sat down. She says, "I thought we were meeting a guy. I'm done. Thank y'all for coming." She proceeds to shake all of the women's hands and heads back to the car. She is pissed off with Michael, telling him that there's not going to be a marriage. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Kalani and Oswell. So Lo, which is Kalani's father, takes Oswell for a walk. I mean, the dog for a walk. The dog for a walk, and invites Oswell to come along. Oswell says that they never walk the dog and he's nervous. So Lo says that he wants to talk to Oswell about what happened at his grandson's birthday party. Oswell, like a little kid, says, "I think you heard their side of the story, but need to hear my side." He admits that the things that he said he shouldn't have. So he takes a bit of responsibility, but makes it seem as though Lisa, which is Kalani's mother, was pressuring him with a lot of questions. He is very immature, but I also believe that it is the cultural difference plus language barrier that works against him because he has a hard time communicating and expressing his thoughts in English. Lo tells him that he hopes he will be on his best behavior from now on. Oswell says that he'll be very careful on how he acts and what he says because he knows his father-in-law will be watching. He is now planning on apologizing to Kalani. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Tanya and Sinjin. So Sinjin FaceTimes his brother, who recently was in ICU from a blood clot. In the next scene, Sinjin talks to Tanya about what happened with his brother. Even though his brother seems to be doing much better and out of the hospital, Sinjin kind of heightens things because he really wants to go home and see his family. He invites Tanya to come as well, and even though they don't have it in the budget to do so, she still supports him. Tanya also really stresses to Sinjin that she needs stability and that she's a bit nervous about Sinjin wanting to go back home because she is unsure if it will pull them further apart. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Andrei and Elizabeth. So back to Elizabeth and Andrei arguing outside. Elizabeth walks away and Andrei is still talking crap, saying that she's acting like a child and that she'll be going home by foot. Elizabeth says that she doesn't know why they've been arguing so much since they got to Moldova and isn't sure if it's the stress of planning the wedding last minute that's weighing on them or if he's just acting different because he's in his country and it feels the need to portray himself as a different person. I think it's the second thing that she said. So Andrei says, driving around with Elizabeth, he can feel her negative energy and that he doesn't like it, adding that he doesn't want his dad to see her act like this. He even said that she needs to come down off of her high horse. So they next go to another venue and you can tell that it's more of Elizabeth's taste. Since they made an appointment to tour this venue, they were able to taste the food and they seem to enjoy it. When Elizabeth inquires about the price of the venue, Andrei says, your father is going to pay. What we like, he's going to get it. Like, hold up. Wait a minute. The nerve, okay? He starts making remarks like he feels like a translator more than a groom. And when Elizabeth tries to touch him, he knocks her hand away and tells her to stop. He's very rude. Now, a lighter moment was when they were dancing and the venue coordinator was making up music for them to dance to. Also hearing Andrei say that he was sorry after cutting Elizabeth off during a confessional with the camera crew. That was pretty big. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Colt and Debbie. So Colt goes to his mother's room to get fed breakfast. Did Debbie really have to feed him the fruit by spoon like a baby in a high chair? Did she really have to do that? Oh my God. Now in this scene, Colt finally calls his mother out about her actions and tells her he feels as though she's trying to sabotage his relationship with Jess. When Colt tells his mom that he understands that she was tired, but she didn't have to be an a-hole, Debbie responds, keep at it and you're going to make me more upset. So my question would be, why are you upset, Debbie? Why are you upset in the first place? Debbie adds that she knows how to control herself around people and doesn't like her son telling her how to act. Debbie feels that Jess's intentions are to marry Colt for citizenship and have babies. Colt encourages his mom to go and talk to Jess. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Andrei and Elizabeth. So in this scene, Andrei and Elizabeth go to the park that Andrei used to play at as a kid. And Elizabeth is obviously concerned about germs and doesn't want the baby touching anything. And they start to talk about Elizabeth's family in this scene. And to me, Elizabeth is to blame as well, along with her husband, Andrei, for the perception that his family and friends have about her family. She paints them as high class, bougie, uppity. This is how she paints her family. I think that you have to be careful to not put negativity out there, and just be positive. I don't see why her family wouldn't get along with his. His mom and dad seem like very sweet people. And when his dad came down to America, they were very welcoming to him and it was a pleasant experience. So to me, when you paint your family as, like they're just so high class, like they can't get along with other people that might not have maybe the same amount of money, you are putting negative out there because just because someone makes a lot of money and someone maybe doesn't make that much money doesn't mean that they can't get along and respect each other as people. I don't get why she does this, but she is partly to blame for why, his family might be a little standoffish or might feel inadequate around her family. She did that. And because she's doing that, he's going to do it even more. So comment down below your thoughts and let me know what you thought about that scene. Now let's move on to Larissa and Eric, since these two are back together. Larissa goes on a date with Eric and they discuss how they plan to move forward in their relationship. The topic comes up about Carmen not being a fan of Eric's. Carmen knows the good and bad of their relationship, so Larissa is sure that she won't want her staying there if she's to get back with Eric. Eric tells Larissa that she'll have to tell Carmen that they're back together. It's like he gives her an ultimatum. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Angela and Michael. So Angela says that if she doesn't want Michael following women on Instagram, then she definitely wouldn't like him sitting amongst them in a social setting. While Angela is yelling and going off on Michael, she gets a call from her daughter, Skyla, and Skyla tells her that her mother has lost her mind. Angela tells her it's dementia, okay? So Angela should have waited, period, point blank. She should have waited to marry Michael and go to Nigeria. If she noticed before she left that her mother's health was declining, that wedding could have waited. Angela says that this trip is for her to see if Michael is truly ready to be her husband. And right now, she doesn't see it. She feels as though Michael doesn't truly understand everything that she deals with at home. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Andrei and Elizabeth. So in this scene, Andrei and Elizabeth are going to his church so that she can be baptized and converted to Andrei's religion. She is very nervous, but without doing so, they can't get married in his country. Now, she can't wear makeup. She has to be dressed in all white and wear a headscarf. Elizabeth during the baptism has no clue what's going on, and Andrei can't really translate at that time. But to me, she should have done her research from the time that they told her that she would need to get baptized, from the time that she arrived to Moldova, so that she would be educated about the religion she was getting baptized into. Elizabeth is saying things like, I'm losing it, blowing 3 times, and getting her hair snipped off. Now in the next scene, they all go to dinner. And Andrei is back to his ways again, trying to insert himself as the lead and the one that's wearing the pants in the relationship. His sister-in-law says that Andrei needs to act like a real man and advises that he read a book about family and what roles each person is to play. She goes on to say that she thinks the woman is to stay at home while the man works. Andrei tells her that Elizabeth has convinced him that he wants to be independent, bring money, and do the proper things. So Andrei's brother tells Elizabeth what he said, and Elizabeth tells the camera crew that her parents have always encouraged the woman to be independent and not to lose their voice. She adds she really doesn't want to call Andrei out and embarrass him in front of his family, but if he keeps this up, she's going to put him in his place. And I think she should have been done that. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Colt, Debbie, and Jess. So Colt wants his mother to go and talk with Jess. So she does. Debbie claims that she kicked them out of the room, but I think her saying that makes her feel like she has some control in this situation. She feels that Colt is not ready for anything serious. Debbie apologizes to Jess and blames her actions on just being tired. Jess says that she understands and hopes Debbie will like her, but if not, that's okay too, because her relationship is with Colt and not Debbie. Jess tells Debbie her desire is to stay in Brazil, and then tells the camera crew that she feels interrogated by Debbie and that she's asking too many questions. Having this conversation with Debbie, Jess says that she believes what Larissa told her about Debbie. Debbie tells Jess that she doesn't want Colt to not be in her life and that she and Colt have a really close relationship. Adding Colt can't be made to choose because she'll probably lose or Jess will probably lose. Debbie wants to be able to control Colt, and if he has a love life, she wants to control her too. Debbie says that she doesn't know if Jess understands the bond that she and Colt have, but if she tries to break it, she'll be in for a rude awakening. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Larissa. So Larissa is going to tell Carmen that she got back together with Eric. I don't know. In this scene, I think that there was already some tension between them because when Carmen entered the room, I don't know, that was just the vibe I got. That was the vibe I got. She probably already knew Larissa was back with Eric and waiting on her to tell her. So Larissa tells Carmen that she is back together with Eric, and Carmen tells the camera crew that she thinks that Larissa hid that info because she knows how she feels about Eric. Carmen feels that when Larissa is with a man that she doesn't think straight and she puts her emotions first. Larissa tells Carmen that she needs love and affection. Carmen tells Larissa to take the risk. But what she really should be thinking about is her stay in the U.S., the opportunity that she has right now. And she adds that Larissa needs to think about, does she trust in Eric 100%, that he won't create drama and get her in more trouble with the law that just might deport her. Carmen tells Larissa to remember everything that she's done for her, giving her a place to stay and bailing her out of jail. Carmen says that she's not going to be Larissa's enemy and will continue to be her friend in the same way, but she wants her out her house by the end of the weekend. Larissa is a straight fool. Now she has nowhere to stay. The relationship just got started and has already landed her out on the street. So that's a sign right there. Comment down below your thoughts and let me know what you thought about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. This is season 5. Episode 6, the title is Ultimatums and Ugly Truths. Comment down below your thoughts, letting me know what you thought about this episode. Give this video a big thumbs up. Share it with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified on the next time I make an upload. And I will catch you all in the next upload. Peace.